Hi guys, how are you doing today? Today is the 4th of July. Now, on the 4th of July in the United States, they are celebrating the Declaration of Independence. And I don't know why in Uganda we don't celebrate independence the way they do. Those people in the US, they have discounts, even cars, Abatunde Moroka, they discount their cars, stores have discounts, people celebrate, never tumbling in the streets, they have their flags. For us here in Uganda, celebrations are koloro na ku TV. I think that's something that the government needs to work on. The government needs to do things that make people proud that we got independence. And those are things that can be done by the, I don't know, by now PR government, media center. I think they really need to do something. If you looked at the celebrations about the US people, the Americans have, you'd actually think of we have nothing to be proud of. We have a lot of things that we can be proud of. The country is green. We have a lot of mountains. We have lakes. We have all the animals, chimpanzees, lions, gorillas. We have a lot of things to be proud of. So we should be proud that we got independence and all these things are now ours. Yeah? So happy independence for the Americans. And of course, in this very week in history, Mercedes-Benz company bari bagita Daimler Motoren Gesellschaft. Yeah, they registered the 3-pointed star as a trademark. When you register a trademark, it's something that is because anyone that uses it, they either have to use it with your permission on your product or when they have paid you, and that's a very powerful thing. So they did. But let's go to the news, guys. First of all, before we go to the news, the One Salad Many Stories campaign is still going on.
Single mother praying late at night, student chasing every little light, brother trying hard to feed the home, still strong though he walks alone. Every star got a deeper meaning, every soul still believes in dreaming. No matter where you come from today, your story can open the way. It's less about
And every time I get a pre-sale inspection, I'm going to be featuring it in the news. So that video, now this week we pre-sale inspected a Toyota RAV4, the blue one, Jibarage. We also pre-sale inspected a Toyota Nua that I don't know if the editor published yet, but we also pre-sale inspected the Toyota Nua. Now put them side by side. Now the RAV4 is priced at 15. And the Nua is priced at 17. But if you watch the video, go back to the channel, watch the videos, and you'll see the price that I recommended for those cars. Yes, welcome to the weekly roundup. Guys, before I go to the news, I'd like to remind the 29th August is the Love for Cars Convention. It's a one day in the year where car lovers meet to talk about cars, not to just have fun, to talk about cars, to learn more about cars, to see what other people are doing with cars, to learn how to keep their cars healthy. Yeah, 29th August will be at Bat Valley Theatre. The entrance fee is only 30,000 shillings. I need you to be there. I don't need you to miss. If you're watching this weekly roundup episode, then you definitely need to be there. Now, in the news on 2nd July, this very month, which was the Thursday, there was a vehicle crash, multiple vehicle crash, 6 vehicles in Maya. Of course, police is still investigating. But eyewitnesses, according to the news, are saying that one vehicle lost control and then the other vehicles followed and they crashed. One person died and several people got injured. Now, with accidents like this, I'd like to encourage you guys, maintain safe distance, especially when you're on the highway. Give a distance of at least 3 cars between you and the car in front of you. Why? That gives you the space to divert in whichever direction. Nebo banga your bumper to bumper on a highway. One mistake by the person in front of you and you guys are kaput. So try as much as possible to maintain. Even police in this bulletin here, even police itself is telling people maintain safe distance. Because that's the only way you can know you're safe in case the person in front of you makes a mistake. Now, if we are on the highway and all of us maintain safe distance, you realize that the multiple vehicle crashes will reduce in time, will reduce in numbers. We have a lot of road construction going on. Industrial area, there is a road construction. Mboya, there is road construction. Old Kampala, there is road construction. Nabweru, there is road construction. Bwaise, there is road construction. There is a lot of road construction going on. And Engineer Barimwezo, who is the new mayor, Chimutadde Mukatu, it feels like he's not working. There is a lot of traffic in Kampala, but mostly because of those roads. Go to industrial area, toina woita, embuya toina woita. Katogenda kwesanga we are using only the small roads that are industrial area wali jam. You have to turn around. This chagana mu town. So of course we urge the people to all the General Muhozi Yagambye ngudagenda tana ko supervising akoya bakola slow. Kola mpola basement kati obajjazi kolanga bapapa because you know the basement is one of the places you don't want to go. And of course they are saying that Barimwezo Yagamba there is a lot of corruption, and then there is a gentleman that speaks for KCCA agamba nti ye bamwita Daniel Nwabine Yagamba it's not actually corruption. Yagamba a lot of people are working on roads, so you cannot close the road at once. But there are roads that they why don't they work at night strictly nga tumyuse nibakule ekiro emisani batweka traffic n'atambula oluguudo lwa industrial area lusinga okunyiza ba blocking the side zona mu blocking ko side emu side enda tugikozese. But anyway, so but we are losing a lot of time. We are losing a lot of time mu jam, and then they don't put warning ebira like 500 meters to the cutoff point. The warning should be like for 3 kilometers down the road. Don't go there, the road is closed. I think this is something that we just need to have to adopt as a country so that we don't waste people's time. And then in South Sudan, I don't know what's happening in South Sudan. I don't know why these people have wars, but 5 humanitarian workers were killed. They belonged to the John Dow Foundation. They were coming from a training, and they were ambushed, and these rebels just shot in the car, and 5 people died. Others came out with injuries, and the UN is condemning it. They say, you know what, this car was clearly marked as humanitarian. You should not have attacked it. And I think now many people are actually going to get out of humanitarian work, and you know humanitarian work is paying. This is Sudan handsome. The second nibakutwala ovuga emoroka South Sudan ngovuga abantu ba UN ogenda South Sudan ovuga emoroka abantu ba UN n'okubeera Kampala mirembe gyo togenze South Sudan vuga moroka ya UN tabagenda kuyita bagenda kuwa sente empitivu bali abantu ate abantu ate ogenda babo ovuga ogenda vuga bakungu ba UN obeera mu SC osazeewo ofo bwavu. But anyway guys, it's sad what is happening in South Sudan. Let's pray for the people that are working, doing humanitarian work. I tell you, and Uganda also a lot, so let's pray for them so that these guys find it in their hearts to stop the war. It's not worth it, and that's kanatenza wano we never desire abantu bafabali byofuza opposition yaffe omanyi tugenda tubayita abaalya naye nga olumu ffenna tukimanyi tebaagala bwagazi entalo kye kimu ku bintu ebikyasinza okuba ebibi. So the fact that our opposition people tebaagala ntalo, it's a good thing. E South Sudan bo tebasinika mannyo bakwatirawo mundu nga balumba, which is a bad thing. Now they are disrupting their country. And then in eastern Thailand, there are 8 Thai monks abafude when an 11-year-old kid drove into their procession. Omwana w'emyaka 11 yabadde avuga emmoroka. Of course, your man abamuyina, they are trying to find out why the parents allowed the kid to drive. But the kid just went in, and omwana omutaba talina judgment nungi. So for you guys that are teaching your kids how to drive as early as 10 years, you're making a very big mistake. Teach your kid how to drive at 15, but then don't be allowing them to drive out of the field or wherever you're teaching them from. Kids should be driving at 18 because then they start to be mature. But a kid of 11, kitegeeza abadde avuga ne taata we, and now this time agenze n'atomera abantu n'abatta. Mwana agenda ate taata we nannyini mmotoka bagenda ye kumusiba nnyo because ogwo omusango teguba gwa mwana. A minor can't decide for himself. So don't teach your kids how to drive very youngly, at early ages. Teach them at around 15, 16 there, and then only allow them to take the car out when they make the legal age for driving on the road. And then Tesla launched a Model YL. A Model Y large. Now it's a 6-seater. You see 2 people in front, 2 people in the middle, 2 people in the back. It's a Model YL. And you know, this Tesla car makes me want to praise Tesla for the good things they're doing. They are selling it at only 227,366,922 shillings. Million bibiri mu abiri emmotoka nga mpya nga zero mileage nga ya masanyalaze. And this car gives you about 523 kilometers on a full charge. Kitegeeza on a company begenda kuwa kilometer nga 4 kikumi okijjako because of the hills, the humps, the jam. Otegere egenda kuwa about 400 kilometers on a full charge. Naffe wano Uganda nali gyewoze million bibiri nga mmotoka zero mileage ya Tesla njewola. Ojewola n'ogivuga togenda kuddamu kugula mafuta. Okitegeera tokola service ovuga buvuzi kula nti yekagooteekamu. I find that that's a very good thing. Chira Evi, where are you? Pick a leaf. And then of course you guys have to know that innovation is going very far because of the cost of production of cars. BMW, Tesla, Ferrari bali mukulekera okozesa copper mu wire. You know most electronic wires never know about copper. Most electric wires are copper. Why? Copper conducts power very easily. See what chiri? Wetagat hot wire tutonobwe tukozesa. And copper is also resistant to like impact. Copper is very resistant. Aluminium, which they are going to start using, is very delicate. I find that they are going to save money. Of course, when you're using aluminium, you have to use a big thing because aluminium. But then they are saying it's cheaper even then. Yes, they are going to save money, but I find that it's a danger. Fragile. They are already using aluminium. Katika manufacturers are trying to save money. That's their goal. And then, of course, I've also seen that cars, the people that make batteries for hybrids and electric cars, they are moving away from lithium ion. They are using sodium ion. Munyo. Sodium ion. Of course, they are also trying to save power. Mumanyi mukola cryptocurrency, you trade and all that. Kati those power stations is powering your computers or your PCs. Zitagamanyi manji. So you have, for them to produce a lot of power, they have to innovate. Kati bali creating a sodium ion batteries for electric cars, for hybrids, and of course for those power stations. I am waiting for a time when sodium would be able to like have a lot of power, to store a lot of power, which it can't do right now. But that's where innovation is taking people. Saving money is taking people. Every time something bad happens, the innovators actually find a way to make it work. And then there is a company called Wave in the UK. Yeah, it's an AI company. Now they are saying they have created a software where the software doesn't use Google Maps alone. So the software follows you as you're driving. Boita mochiunya no ita mukakuba kata tegereka nenge moroke ita nga AI yo yayiga nti wano bayitawo. So what they are trying to do is they are training their software to understand, to learn like a human being. Like ogoberere wa taxi demuita mukakuba yeyo kati nge moroka bwinabe yevuga. They are going to be using this software in self-driving cars. Now when the car is driving itself, it will be able to also maneuver to see a taxi is going this way, let me follow like a human being. And now of course now the uphill task is to get companies to start using their software in their cars. But I find that that's a software that we did here in Kampala. Google Map ne bekugamba enegenda ngaka AI kagamba no eyoteri kubo no because it's AI, probably because it saw someone drive there and they met a dead end and then they had to turn around, or the AI follows taxis, or it follows buses, or it follows borders, or whatever it might do. And then of course in the US there is a man that was on an electric scooter, like what we would call a border here. Moroka named Bitala. His chitala was red, the chitala for the truck was green, the truck was coming, now police no. And for us we see these things every day, and we always know it's the scooter person to blame. From dusty road to Grimsby Patrol, the tip of the week, guys: never ignore dashboard lights. Never ignore dashboard lights, temperature, akatara ka mafuta. Akatara ka mafuta wekaka kati tinywa mafuta. Togama nti kantu ukewa ka. Temperature, oil light, ABS light. Don't ignore any lights. Once a light comes on, if you have a diagnosis machine, diagnose your car and see how it's working. Akarozo kolunaku. Now guys, servicing your car is cheaper than repairing. Servicing your car is cheaper than repairing. Change your oil on time, because when the engine dies, you will spend more. Change your engine on time, my brother. When you get a leakage, service it. Omanye, even these seals, we need to service them. Tokiza ate seal kutuuka nga oil ayiika nnyo because you'll spoil something. So service your car on time. Well, guys, thank you very much for being part of this week's episode of the Car Weekly Roundup. I would like to remind you, 29th August, Love for Cars Convention, Bad Valley Theatre, only 30,000. Every car lover, come and be there. We meet there and we talk. And until next time, ciao.